Why structure, not strategy, determines how we connect. When people talk about connection, they often describe it as an exchange between two nervous systems, a subtle dance of attunement, pacing, and presence. It's a beautiful description, and there's truth in it. But connection doesn't begin in the relational field. It begins in the architecture of the body. What some call relational proprioception, the ability to feel yourself while feeling another, isn't simply a psychological capacity. It is a structural one. It depends on the clarity of your fascia, the freedom of your breath, the organization of your posture, and the amount of mechanical load your system is carrying. If your structure is compressed, twisted, or braced, your nervous system has no reliable reference for where you end and the world begins. The boundary is unclear. The signals are distorted. Your system works harder just to stay oriented. In that state, connection becomes effortful, not because you lack relational skill, but because your architecture isn't giving your nervous system a stable platform to stand on. This is the starting point in adaptive bodywork. I don't begin with stories or strategies. I begin with structure, with the physical foundations that allow a nervous system to settle, to feel itself accurately, and to open toward another without collapsing or overreacting. Fascia plays a central role in this. It is the body's most extensive sensory organ. It is how the nervous system learns its own shape, tension, orientation, and potential for movement. When fascia is restricted or carrying outdated tension, neuroception, the body's detection of safety and threat, shifts toward protection. When fascia is responsive and clear, the system naturally shifts toward ease, safety, and connection. In other words, your relational capacity emerges from your structural state. Your emotional bandwidth is shaped by your mechanical bandwidth. Presence is not a psychological technique. It is a physical condition. This is why, in adaptive bodywork, touch isn't used to soothe or co-regulate. It's used to give the body new mechanical information, to update the sensory map the nervous system relies on to understand itself. When that map becomes more accurate, the system recalibrates. Breath opens, boundaries sharpen, tension dissolves, orientation returns. And suddenly, the person has access to a level of relational clarity that no amount of insight or relational strategy could have produced, because the structure itself has changed. So, while relational theories describe the dance between two people, structure determines whether you can stand in that dance without losing yourself, whether you can listen without bracing, whether you can stay present without collapsing, whether connection feels like openness or threat. This is the essence of adaptive bodywork. We don't talk about connection. We restore the physical integrity that makes genuine connection possible.